It's Monday morning. Go ahead and pop up with your toast, get your cup of coffee, and grab the Bible. We're in Matthew 14:31 and Matthew 15:28. Two verses, or two parts of verses here. Let me go ahead and read those. O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And then 15:28. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Here we have a comparison between small or little faith and large, great faith. Here, let me go ahead and point out a few points here. 3 points that they're similar. Both small, little, and large and great faith, they are saving faith. If you notice that in Matthew 14, Peter was walking on the water and he started to sink, and he called out on Jesus and Peter was rescued. Matthew 15, the woman had an infirmity and she sought Christ, was turned away but continued to seek Christ, and she was healed as well. You see, it makes no difference whether you have great faith or little faith. Jesus Christ is the answer from the beginning to the end. You see, true faith is founded, focused, and formed in Jesus Christ. See, there is a religious faith, which is not saving faith at all. In fact, James 2:19 tells us about it. He says, Thou believest that there is one God. Thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. They don't make it to heaven. So we have to remember there is a saving faith and a non-saving faith, and both a little and a large faith will save your soul if it's in Jesus Christ. Number 2, both small, little faith, or we could say large, great faith, enjoy great victory. If you notice, Peter feared, he doubted, fell into the water, and he cries out. Jesus reaches out, pulls him up, and then the verse 42 tells us, and when they went into the ship. In other words, they walked together there. So he had his victory. The woman in Matthew chapter 15 fell at Jesus' lap there on her knees, and she received the victory, and she was made whole that very day. See, there's something else we also can learn, both small faith and large faith. Do pray. As Peter's sinking, little faith prays out. Save me, Lord. Lord, save me. Little faith prays when in trouble. Of course, great faith or large faith prays all the time. And if you notice what it says she worshiped him. And then she said, help me, Lord. Lord, help me. And so you can see some similarities, but there are some also differences there. There are at least 3 differences. Small faith versus large faith is rebuked by the Lord. If you notice what the Lord says, there he says, O thou of little faith, wherefore did thou doubt? To a larger great faith doesn't get rebuked. He said, O woman, great is thy faith. You see, small faith has a little peace, to where large faith has much peace. Think about it. Peter's walking on the water to Jesus, and he fears, and he begins to sink. He's cold, he's wet, and he's embarrassed in front of his disciples. But notice the large faith. She did not fear. And even though she was pushed away, she continued to come. And then she was praised there. You see, large faith receives great peace. Notice small faith or little faith has little privileges. Peter was saved and was with Christ, But we really need to compare that to the large faith. In Matthew 15:28, you know what Jesus said to the woman? Be it unto thee as thou wilt. Rather than rebuked, she was praised, and she was offered blessings. You see, faith requested is granted wholly. Large faith is. You see, there's much to be considered here, much more than I've even thought about here. But one thing we can say is little faith can grow into large faith. You don't need to stay at little faith. Think about it. Peter denied Christ 3 times. Later, he stood up at Pentecost in front of 3,000 and preached a salvation message. And at the end of his life, he died for Christ. You see, don't look at the storms of life, but look at Christ. And that's the difference between little faith and large faith. If you look at the storm and you begin to doubt, remember, turn from the storm and look to Christ. For he will save you, he will rescue you, and you'll be privileged beyond belief within your heart and soul. This is Pastor Bart Getz coming to you from Faith Baptist Church. God bless and have a great and wonderful week.